Yes. What's happening? How are we doing? Happy Friday. It's the end of the week. I am looking forward to the weekend. I'm not going to lie. It's been a busy 2 weeks. So welcome to the show. If you're coming through, please do let me know. Today we're going to talk about like how success affects our mental health. Okay, our perception of what success is as well. I think has a huge part to play um, in terms of our mental health, because how we see success, I think, has a huge dynamic effect on our lives. Okay, and what we and how we see the world. So we're going to go into some of that, and we're going to talk about what is success. I don't think there is any right or wrong answer here, but just I think it'd be good for discussion to get in and amongst it. All right, so let's do it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Borman. If you are coming through, then please do let me know by hitting the love heart button, if there is one, on YouTube, commenting down below that you are watching or watching back. And obviously, please do share this with somebody that might need it. Okay, so we're talking success. So I had a really interesting couple of weeks. In the last couple of weeks, we've been putting out tons of content, working on a 3-day course. And a lot of my mental health has always been affected by what I determine success. And I think I'm not the only person here. I think when we think about success, we all have a different vision of what success is, or what is a successful thing that we are doing. So I know what my version of success is. So as a macro, okay, the version of success is living life on my terms. So if I'm living life on my terms, if I'm in charge of my own time, my own energy, my own focus, I can wake up and do whatever I want. To me, that's an element of success. Okay, there is an element of success, but off that branch, when I go into a circle and I'm doing something like, let's say, this week we were running a 3-day Awaken Your Potential. I would then determine the success of that, and that will have an influence on my bigger picture, my macro version. So I lose vision of what the macro success is, because I've gone into the micro element of what success is of that campaign. Does that make sense? And that completely and utterly corrupts my view of how I see the world, because I've been drawn into this micro thing. I'll give you another example. So if I went and did jiu-jitsu, and I went to a jiu-jitsu tournament, so I go to a jiu-jitsu tournament, whilst I'm at a club and I'm training, I'm absolutely banging it. I'm all over it. I'm working really well. I'm pushing people hard. People are saying, you're a beast. God, you're getting so much better. You're doing really well. So overall, I think to myself, man, I consider success at jiu-jitsu like doing really well. Like I'm doing really well. I'm giving everyone a hard time. And then I go at competition and then I lose 4 matches. That ultimately then affects my version of what I think of me being success. So do I think I'm successful? I probably won't, because I've lost 4 matches. It doesn't really matter what's happening here, what people say. My interpretation is that I'm not successful. Do you know what I mean? Another one could be like people I work with in business. If they do a campaign, they do a launch, but they get nothing off the back of it, they would then determine that as unsuccessful. So we then start looking at ourselves as unsuccessful. If we then go for a promotion in a job, okay, and we go through the process of going for a promotion, we don't get that promotion, then we consider ourselves unsuccessful in that process and unsuccessful in the bigger picture. So we feel like we're unsuccessful in our lives. So all these little like environmental things that we go through, all of these micro sub factors of success, they all play a huge part in terms of how we see the bigger picture. Okay. And when we lose tournaments, we don't get the promotions, or you don't make the money that you thought you was going to make, or maybe something happens that, you lose your temper as a father, you maybe snap at your wife, so then you feel a failure as a partner and a husband, all of these things, they end up then playing on your mind. Okay, they end up playing on your mind. Let me just move this here slightly. Does that make sense? They play on your mind. And you start questioning yourself. And this is where the human behavior kind of comes in, because although I feel like I'm really good and successful at jiu-jitsu, I've lost my last two competitions. Okay, very, very close. I lost them both on decisions by like 1 point. And what's really interesting is that when I come away from them, I felt super deflated because I thought I was doing really well. And actually, I was doing really well. I'm going into a competitive scene, competing against guys who have been competing for the last year and a half. And I've only competed since last October. So then we have to add a sprinkle of perspective on all of these elements. So why didn't I get promoted? Maybe it was just the wrong time. Maybe I don't have enough experience. Maybe I expected too much. Okay. Then we go to jiu-jitsu. Maybe I go to competitions and I'm still too nervous. Maybe I'm not rolling freely. Maybe I'm overthinking things. Maybe I'm not conditioned yet for a competition scene. Do you know what I mean? People that I've worked with in the past, and they've been doing launches and they've been doing something and haven't made the money they want. Maybe they've got the wrong people in there. Maybe you just didn't deliver well. Maybe we said the wrong things. Maybe something happened. So there is multitudes of perspective that we can put on top of those situations all around us. But ultimately, what is your version of success? Like, in your mind, in the macro, what is the core? So like, if you think about the sun as the thing that keeps our universe going with its heat, and that's the main start, that's the main thing. When you think about the core of the earth, that's the main thing that keeps it all together. What is your core? What is your sun version of success? And mine, it always comes back to that success for me is living life on my terms. So as long as I'm living life on my terms, all of the micro sub things are just if you like, environmental in terms of it depending on that particular environment. And they should not play a bigger part. So if I lose at jiu-jitsu, I'm still living life on my terms. If I don't get the promotion, I'm still living life on my terms. If you don't make the sales, I'm still living life on my terms. Okay. If I still, if I snap as a parent, I'm still living life on my terms. So I get that chance to make those decisions. I get to wake up and do anything that I want to do. If I wanted to wake up, sell this house, move to Dubai, I could. If I wanted to wake up, sell the house, go traveling, I could. Do you know what I mean? If I wanted to wake up and take a day off, I could. And these are things that are really important. So freedom to me is one of those really important factors in success. And I think a lot of it is driven from being so restricted in freedom when I joined the military. So there is that emotional connection to that success. So what we have to do when we're moving forwards is not allow all of the sub branches of success or all the sub things that we go through in life affect the core part of your success. Okay, so I can't be letting me, if I lose a jiu-jitsu match, if you don't get the promotion, if you snap as the kids, if you don't make the sales that you thought you were going to make, it shouldn't affect the core. You'll naturally feel like down or you'll feel disappointed, but overall, okay, success to you might be, I just want to live a healthy life. I want to be healthy, isn't it? But you're doing that. So, and the ripple effects of all the environmental situations that you go through in life shouldn't affect the bigger picture. Does that make sense? And I think if you can get that in your head, and I think if you can visualize what success is, and you can put perspective on it to be able to control and calm the emotions, then you can start to feel much better about the things that you're doing. And this is the problem. We don't feel that we're good enough. We constantly beat ourselves up. We're constantly hard on ourselves. And we never turn around and go, I'm a successful father. I'm a really successful father. Like and that's what I would turn around. Okay. So part of living, part of my success is living life on my terms, but I'm still a super successful father. You know what I mean? I'm a reasonably successful businessman. Do you know what I mean? I'm a successful husband this time around, based on the mistakes that I've made in the past. Do you know what I mean? I would say that I'm somewhat successful as a friend. Like I could do more, But again, you go through and you go, what am I successful at? And I think we interpret success as you've got to have a Lamborghini or Ferrari outside the front of your house, or a big mansion, or loads of money in the bank. My mentor taught me that recently. It was like, success is the small micro things that we do really well. Do you know what I mean? It's the putting the phone down and reading a book to your daughter. And it's those micro things that make a monumental difference to our lives. And if you keep building up the little successful wins, I think you start to realize what you want more out of life. And I think when you want that, then you're successful. Make sense? So I will see you guys on Monday at 6 o'clock. I'm going to be in Ireland next week because I'm on my mastermind I'm a part of next week. So I'm going to be on that. I'm getting very late, so I'm going to be very tired, but we're going to still show up anyway, and we're going to get it done. All right. So Monday, 6 o'clock. I hope you can be there. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the show, and I'll catch up with you soon.